Hello friends, how are you all? Hope you are doing great at various aspects of your lives. Mahabharat or Mahabharata, the epic is set up on so much wide canvas that almost everyone can find it intriguing, and there is so much in it that everyone loves to explore it from his or her point of view. I would like to refer you a quote from the preface of the book we are going to talk about before we proceed further. Books are humans' biggest boons. I respect people who read a lot of books, especially those who don't just stop at remembering and recalling what they read and go deep and research what they read. Find meanings that have been hidden by simpler sentences. This great epic that was first narrated by the legendary Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas or Ved Vyas is a masterpiece that is nothing less than a textbook for any writer. Almost every writer wants to represent his or her interpretation of Mahabharata or its part someday. We came across many retellings and adaptations of Mahabharata. Here are some of them I can recall right now. Late Harilal Upadhyay, a Gujarati author, has tried to stick to the original popular version of Mahabharata in his Mahabharata book series that is comprised of 7 books. Well-known mythologist Devdutt Patnaik came up with Jaya, that is an illustrated retelling of Mahabharata, where he tried to take a note of some of the lesser known tales from the epic. Deepak Kaul has tried retelling the Mahabharata as a comic book named Korpokshetra, where the characters are set up in the current time. Prem Panikkar tried to explore Mahabharata from Bhimsen's point of view in his book Bhimsen. Author Christopher Doyle has tried to set it up in modern environment where traces leads to the original epic's time in his The Mahabharata Quest series. Recently, we came across a book named Barbarika by debutant author Hariharan Raju. Fortunately, the Kindle edition of the book was available for free when I was searching for some good books from our team, and how can we let go of this opportunity? And incidentally, I got a chance to read and review it from our team, and here are my unbiased views and reviews for this book. The cover page of a book plays a vital role in influencing potential readers in purchasing the book and or reading the same. So let us take a quick look at the cover page of the book. As you can see, the cover page is designed using attractive and cheerful colors. It rather looks like a high-resolution poster of an animated movie. The cover page will surely remind you of Vishwarup Darshan by Lord Krishna in Mahabharata, and it goes perfectly in sync with the story. Also, the modern incarnation of Krishna holding the Sudarshan Chakra, looking into the eyes of a man, is something interesting. Again, you can find the roots of this illustration in the story. Let us take a bird's eye view of the book plot. The story of the book is explored in 3 different time segments. I will try to make the briefing about the plot and review both as much spoiler free as much possible, but please listen to it with the consent that some of them might be there. The story starts from the time of Mahabharata. We know a lot about the Pandavas. Physically mightiest of them, Bhima, like his fellow brothers, was married to other women in addition to Draupadi. Hidimba was the first wife of Bhima. The union of Bhima and Hidimba resulted in the birth of Ghatotkacha. Ghatotkacha was a mighty warrior, and his role in the battle of Mahabharata was nothing less than a game changer. Ghatotkacha was married to Ahlavati, a Yadav princess, and they were blessed with a son named Barbarika. It is also said that Ghatotkacha has another son named Meghavarna as well. Barbarik or Barbarika, the grandson of Bhima and the son of Ghatotkacha, has earned boons from the goddess Durga herself. That made him the mightiest of all the warriors who took part in the battle of Mahabharata. What were the boons and how did he achieve them? And then, why don't we hear much about him in the Mahabharata battle? Cut to time segment 2. Roop Singh Chauhan was ruling the Khatu kingdom. He and his wife Sukhibi was blessed with a son named Prithviraj. The circumstances turn and we see that they have decided to build a temple in their kingdom. Whose temple was that and why had they decided to build it? We meet many characters like Balram, the cow, Hameshi, the Pujari, Marsha, a villager, and others during the tale. Cut to time segment 3. On the day of 18th February 1993, a boy named Shyam was born. He was an heir of a business tycoon who belongs to the royal lineage. He and his cousin Balram were almost inseparable. How he meets with a strange fate is explored in this segment. And yes, we got to know about Ashoka's 9 unknown men, Radhagupta, and his expertise in biogenetics, Vishaka, and many other characters. And yes, Shyam was also on the quest of finding his true love. Seems complex and intriguing story, right? It is, indeed. When you have so many questions in your mind, like now, you shall go ahead and read the book. The book, of course, retells a fraction of Mahabharata, but it ends it there. It then weaves the traces of the same fraction in a thriller set up in the modern time. Of course, to jump from the Mahabharata time to the modern time, it takes a little rest in the recent historical time as well. The reference of Thiruvalluvar, the famous poet, in the preface of the book made us delighted. The book tries to become a sci-fi than just being a mythology retold, and that is the beauty of the book. The preface of the book is written by K. Bhagyaraj, who is known for his work in South Indian cinema. The foreword of the book raises expectations about the book. The science is infused in the story interestingly. So there are talks about DNA, mutation, and other stuff. However, the author's main focus is on the entertainment and thrilling quotient of the story. Of course, we cannot expect science to be explored in the book beyond a certain extent, otherwise some readers may feel it a little boring. So for a regular or normal reader, it is a perfect mixture of elements needed in a thriller. In those terms, the book is like a commercial film. As the author himself considers, Eklavya, who learned a lot from the movies of his Dronacharya, K. Bhagyaraj, the narration style reflects the same. It is more like a script of a film and it hooks the reader with the book. The author seems to have a fantastic career ahead as an author, and eventually he may try his luck in writing scripts for the films also. No story can keep the reader glued if it hasn't substance within. This book has a fantastic story to tell, and more importantly, the characters are strong enough. Usually, it happens that in order to glorify the hero or heroes, The writer focuses more on him or her or them. But actually, the stronger the villain is, the hero appears even superior. This story has multiple heroes and they all are explored pretty well. The book starts when Barbarika was 14 years old and it was his big day. The day starts with a simple yet important conversation. What time is it, Ma? He asked, yawning, stretching, with still lying down. Time doesn't matter. We have a lot to talk about before today begins. While there are lines like, with the power comes the responsibilities, the book has some wisdom line rephrased as, you must use your power only for good. It is simple, yet effective, right? The author is good at exploring emotions. Here is an example. His eyelids felt like they were made of lead, dropping down by themselves. Here is another interesting segment. No matter how much time passed, the cow was nowhere to be seen. Marsha grew frantic with worry for his favorite cow. To him, she was like a mother who took care of all his needs. Just how a son is helpless and defenseless when young without the mother, he felt naked and defenseless without Balram. The philosophy is viewed with reality in some interesting lines like, King Ashoka felt that if normal men were given all the knowledge, they would use it for devastation and destruction instead of for peace. He helped the young prince to understand that it is what is inside that makes a human being good or evil. Remember that power by itself uncontrolled is chaos and can harm just as much as it can help. Choose to use it for the right causes. Here is a line that explores the human psyche in a nice way. Perhaps being challenged by the same gender was a bigger blow to their masculinity than treating a woman with respect. From these quotes, you might have got an idea about the literary quality of the book. Of course, there are many points and quotes I need to avoid in order to make it spoiler free, but this should be good enough. The book doesn't have any adult only material, making it a good read for the readers of almost any age group. Of course, there are points that could have been better elaborated. For example, if Barbarika was died young, how his direct descendants appear. The book has some proofreading errors. We have mentioned about them in our review article. But I would like to refer a critically important point, and that is birth date of Shyam. On the location 455 of Kindle ebook, it is mentioned that it is the boy who will be born on 18th of Falgun, much later on in your line. And on location 584, it is stated that Shyam was a sweet child and he was born on the 18th of February 1993. Now we need to remember that there is no 18th day in the month as per Hindu calendar. Actually, Hindu calendar months are divided into two segments, Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. So if the author possibly seems to refer the third day of Krishna Paksha, if you verify the calendar of February 1993, you will see that it was indeed Falgun month of Hindu calendar running those dates, but the date of the Gregorian calendar and the day of Hindu calendar doesn't have the link expected. Of course, it is a work of fiction, but for such thrillers, such points matter a lot. As far as my views are concerned, of course. So, what is the conclusion? Well, the book is a nice read. If you love sci-fi mixed with mythology and if thrillers interest you, it is a highly recommended book. The author and the book both have a potential. If the book is marketed properly and got the attention of worthy readers, it has all the elements of being the bestseller. ThinkerViews rating around 8.5 stars out of 10. So, have you already read the book? Are you planning to read it? What do you think about this book review? Do you find it helpful in deciding whether to go for the book or not? Please do share your genuine remarks via comments below. If you have enjoyed listening to the review, please hit the like button and do not forget to share it with your friends and other fellows whom you think such reviews interest more. Till we meet with our next podcast, bye bye, take care, namaskar.